All right, thank you everybody who watched my setup portion of this video playthrough. Let's get started. There's a lot of reading to do with this game, mostly card play and then a lot of dice rolling. Just looking at the board real quick, I think our main goal is going to be getting Oxford as soon as possible. If we can really besiege Oxford as soon as possible, that's the best thing. Unfortunately, you can't besiege Oxford until card number 13 or card number 26 is revealed. So hopefully we shuffled positively for us, and we'll get that out as soon as possible so we can start besieging that. I think once we get Oxford under our control, we'll get another zeal point at the beginning of every turn, and that will really give us a good defense in this area to prevent the capture of London. That's really what we want to do, because once London is captured, the game's over. All right, so let's just start right from the beginning here. We are going to read the prologue. The First English Civil War, 1640 to 1644. The prologue. For 15 years, King Charles's subjects became more alienated by his religious policies and desire to rule without parliaments. The more zealous Protestants, or Puritans, imagined the existence of a royal plot aimed at restoring the Catholic faith in England and the destruction of the people's liberties. Charles's attempts to introduce a new prayer book to Scotland in 1637 provoked furious resistance. His response to crush the Scots by force went disastrously wrong, compelling him to summon Parliament in October of 1640 to raise money in support of his war. Once seated, Parliament assailed Charles with angry complaints about his policies. At first, the king had few supporters, but as Puritan members pushed for wholesale reform of the church, religious traditionalists became alarmed, and Charles found himself at the head of a swelling political constituency. Then, in 1641, the Catholics of Ireland rose up in arms, brutally killing many hundreds of the English and Scottish Protestants who had settled in Ireland. The rebellion caused panic in England, making it harder than ever for a political compromise to be reached and the nation's problems solved. England was rapidly dividing into two powerful armed camps. All right, let's see. Card 1. Now, as you know, card 1 and the last card, card 27, is always the same. The cards in between are the ones we shuffle to make each game a little bit unique. All right, we start with card 1. Go from top to bottom, left to right. 28 August 1640. Oh, the card says, Scots defeat English army at the Battle of Newburn. August 28, 1640. Needing to secure funds to raise a new army to stop the Scottish invasion after the defeat of the English army at Newburgh, King Charles calls for a session of Parliament. So we start at the top, left to right. We have no battle. The battle is going to be in red when we have to have an actual battle, which goes on up here. And Scotland is activated. So immediately the Scottish troops up here in the Highlands move into Edinburgh. Now that they're in the region of Edinburgh, they can actually start besieging that fort. We don't want that to happen, if at all possible. Next, move down here. It says, Diminutive Archbishop Laud attempts to impose a new Anglican prayer book on the Scots, but the Scottish bishops strongly oppose its introduction. And it shows monarchy moving down 1. So we go to the political track and move monarchy down 1 to 4, which is the D slot. And as we talked about in the setup, if you ever at the end of a turn have 4 different political factions in the F slot, you lose. So we don't want that. And also, since monarchy is now down to the D slot, there are 3 red triangles, which are negative points. So we want to try to move everything up towards the A slots. Next, Scottish Kirk Church, the word church, in Scottish, the word kirk is church, signs the covenant to reject the books of common prayers. So we have Parliament gets +1 DRM. So I'm going to add +1 DRM to Parliament, which is good for us. Now we've completed card number 1, we get to move to our turn, or the sequence of play. Sequence of play is event phase, that's the card. The action phase, that's where we take actions. These are the list of actions down here. And then there's an end time phase and housekeeping phase. That's the sequence of play for each turn. So we start off with 5 zeal on the zeal track here. Pretty much whatever you do costs a zeal. So I don't like Scotland here because we don't want them to besiege Edinburgh. But we also have this +1 DRM, so we probably would want to take advantage of that as soon as possible as well. But let's see if we can push the Scottish army at least back into the Highlands for now. So that's called Campaign Against an Enemy Army Unit or Deviltry Marker. So we're going to spend 1 zeal to do that. Now to push this Scottish army back, we have to get higher than a 3 to move them back on our die roll. So let's take a roll and see what happens. And I got a 2. We don't get to push them back. Now it's going to be easy for you as you're playing to kind of go on tilt and just keep trying. I mean, we should be able to roll a 4, 5, or 6. So I'm going to spend another zeal to do that again, to try to push the Scottish army back into the Highlands. And I rolled a 3. 3 is no good. I'm already burning through my zeal points on the very first turn. I'm going to do it again. Another zeal point. Oh, get in there, Ted. And I got a 4, finally. So at least we push the Scottish army back. So at least next time when they're activated, if they were in this area, they would have been able to besiege the fort in Edinburgh, and we don't want that. Okay, so that took a lot of zeal points, but I still have 2 left. And I could spend 1 and just make Edinburgh stronger, or I could use 2 points to try to advance Parliament up higher. At this point, I could strengthen any one of my forts. Yeah, I think Edinburgh's going to be a problem right along. I'm going to spend 1 zeal point to strengthen the defenses here. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to spend another 1. Really focusing here in Edinburgh, in Scotland. Kind of wasted this +1 DRM, but that's my decision. I'm sticking to it. All right, pure and simple. Now we go to end times phase. If you do not control London or have 4 or more of the political or religious markers in the F boxes, you lose. If you have completed event card number 60, you may have just won. Of course, event card number 60 is if we play all 3 of the Civil Wars. Let me know in the comments if you want me to play through all 3. For right now, we're just going to do the first Civil War and go through these cards over here. And then housekeeping, remove all temporary strength modifiers, such as this +1 DRM. Sorry, dude, can't use you. Gain zeal points. So right now we have 1 zeal point for controlling Hull, 3 for controlling London, and 1 for controlling Bristol. That's 5. So we move our zeal point back up to 5. And then prepare second or third Civil War. Of course, we just started. So let's flip the new card back up to the event phase. And this card is Parliament signs solemn league and covenant with Scotland. This is card number 22. So, September 25th, 1643, with the threat of Irish troops joining the Royalist army, Parliament signs a treaty of alliance with the Scottish Covenanters, but does not commit a Presbyterianism to England. All right, got a lot of activity going on this card. No battles, but Ireland, their army activates. So we move the Irish army from beyond the Pale to Munster. They're closing in. They want to get up here to start causing havoc, causing Irish troubles. We want to try to prevent that as much as possible. Next, the North gets 2 activations. The North Army is here in Durham. The North is the Royalist Army. They're in Durham. They're going to activate twice. So they're going to move to Chester 4 and then York 3. That's not good. Now they're able to start, if they were to activate again, they would be able to start besieging the fort at Hull. We do not want that to happen. Next, the West Army gets to activate. They're going to move from Cornwall into Devon. And last but not least, Scotland activates again, back into Edinburgh, putting pressure on us in Edinburgh. All right, move on to the next one. Parliament establishes a Presbyterian church in England and Ireland to appease its new ally in Scotland. Puritanism suffers. Puritanism goes down. That sucks. Don't want that. All right. Next, Parliament raises a Scottish army to combat the Royalists and Irish. So this calls for political reaction. Political reaction is the political Parliament and monarchy markers move up or down 1 box towards C. Nice. So Parliament moves up a box towards C, and also the monarchy moves up to C. That actually is helping us out a little bit, this political reaction, and we gain 1 zeal point. Nice. So we get to start our player's action with 6 zeal. All right, let's go. What are we doing? Well, I want to push this army back. This is even more important to push back than this one if we had our druthers. I don't like Parliamentism or Puritanism way down here already. That sucks. So let's first try to get the North out of here. They're tough though. They're strong. They're 4. I could spend I'm going to spend 1 zeal to add a +1. It says strength. I believe it's supposed to say DRM on the other side, but it doesn't. But you understand what it is. I'm going to put +1 to my DRM to push this army back. And let's spend 1 and try. I'm going to roll a red dice this time. Let's try to push them back into Chester. And no. I'm going to try it again. Another zeal point. And 4 + 1 is 5. Yes, we get to move them back to Chester. Oh, I do not like... Well, I don't like the Scottish army up there. I don't like this I don't like this Puritanism down here in F. I'm going to try to move them back up here. So that's called engaging in politics. All I need to do is do a roll that's higher than the next step that we're going to. So I need a roll higher than 2. I'm going to spend a zeal to do that. And I got a 4. Moved it right back up. So at least now we're not down in the F. What else do I want? I want to get Scotland out of there. I want to take advantage of this +1 zeal since I spent it. I'm going to try to move the north back. Another one. Let's roll this. Yeah, I got a 5. Beautiful. Perfect. And I have 1 more zeal left. Oh, what do I want to do? Let's try to get this Scottish army out of Edinburgh. Don't have any plus DRMs, and I rolled a 3. That's equal to. It's got to be higher than to move them back. All right, that's it for my zeal points. Another turn is over. This is remove the temporary markers. This goes back. We didn't have any anywhere else. The west is still kind of scary here in Devon, and of course Scottish Army still in Edinburgh. All right, let's flip another one. Come on, baby. All right, political achievement. This is card number 21. This is the first time we've come across an achievement. So when you have an achievement, these are cards that you can purchase for zeal points, 2 zeal points, after you've satisfied these requirements here. Once you purchase them, they go in your hand, and those are permanent positive victory points for you. So these are very important. When you flip one over, you put it up here in this available achievement area for you to be able to purchase in other turns. There's only 3 slots up here, so you can only have 3 cards out there. If you reveal a 4th, you do have to replace one of the cards up there with the new card. That can be unfortunate. Try to buy them if you can as soon as possible. What is the achievement for this one? This is licensing order. So it says August 1643, this order instituted republication censorship upon parliamentary England. Milton's Aeropagistica, I can't say it, Aeropagistica was against this act. Holy cow. What we have to do is get greater than or equal to. The London fortress has to be greater than or equal to 3. So we just need to fortify London one more time, I believe. Yeah, one more time we can get it up to a 3. Not difficult. But Parliament has to be greater than or equal to B. So we have to move it up at least 2 spots. And Puritanism has to be greater than or equal to B. So we have to move them all the way up here. And then the cost for this is 2 zeal points. And there's other benefits. Let's see. We'll keep that up there where it belongs. All right. When you reveal an achievement, you just go right ahead and flip another card. Oh, we've got 2 achievements in a row. Wow. Eliminate Star Chamber and regulate privacy Privy Council. I cannot read out loud. May 1641, Parliament was to be summoned at least once every 3 years. If the king failed to do so, the members could assemble on their own. Well, monarchy greater than or equal to B, so we got to move them up. Parliament again greater than or equal to B. Petition of right equals acquired. All right, that's another one. But that'll give you 3 permanent victory points. Flip it again. All right, card number 11. Parliament passes the Militia ordinance. March 5th, 1642. Parliament takes control of national militia without the consent of the king for the first time in English history. In addition, the arsenal at Hull is fortified against royalist attack. All right. No battle, but this is a good card. First off, Ireland gets a -1 strength. Very good. -1 strength to the Irish army. Whoops, that's a plus. Don't give it a plus, Tad. It's a minus. Flip that over. -1 strength to the Irish army. Ireland activates, so now they're moving into Dublin. And then it says, gain unit for London train band. So that's cool. We now get to add the London train band's 4 strength to our parliamentary named box, holding box. So now when we do have a battle, we can utilize them in our defense and, well, our offense as well. It also says besiege or fortify Dublin. So we cannot besiege Dublin. So, of course, since we can't besiege Dublin, then the next option is fortify Dublin. And because it is under royalist control, it gets to be fortified. And we turn that to the left to the 6 o'clock position, and you can see it's uncovering a 3. So now the Dublin is stronger. If we ever want to besiege Dublin, it's going to take us more strength to do it. All right, next we move down to here. The Parliament of Scotland sends an army to Carrickfergus with 2,500 Scottish Covenanter troops in order to achieve the extirpation of property from Ireland. Catholicism goes down. And we move Catholicism down. So that track's not looking too good either. All right, next. Queen Henrietta Maria flees to Holland with the crown jewels and King Charles's young children. They would ultimately move to Catholic-dominated France. Oh no. Monarchy +1 DRM. Monarchy +1 DRM. Sweet. We can maybe attempt to move that baby up. Oh, I forgot to move this back up to 5. Already making mistakes. All right, that's cool though. Scotland, the Scottish army didn't do anything, so they didn't attack. No other armies moved except the Irish. That's cool, but they have a -1 strength, so we might be able to push them back. What do we want to do? Well, for sure, this is probably more important than this right now, because if we can get these things up, we can start trying to get these achievements. So let's utilize this +1 DRM on the monarchy and try to move it up. So we have to roll a 3 or higher. Let's change the dice again. And 2. Nope, not high enough. So I wasted it. That cost a zeal, wasted a zeal. Let's do it again. I mean, come on. Really, Tad? Let's do it again. Yeah, I'm on tilt. There we go. Get to move that baby up there. Oh, I could take a chance and move Ireland back since it's got a -1. I hate Scotland being there. I don't like the West being there. Well, Ireland's there. It's a -1. Let's use that -1 while we have it. Let's try to move Ireland back. I rolled a 3 -1. That's good. We get to move them back to Munster. We have 1 more zeal left. Let's try to move the Scottish army back out of Edinburgh. Nope. Of course not. All right, they're good. Let's get rid of these. Let's clean up. Get rid of these. Get rid of this. And move our zeal. Don't forget to move our zeal back. 3, 4, 5 zeal points back up there. All right, we're moving right along. Next card. Number 25. The Battle of Marston Moor. July 2nd, 1644. A combined army of Scottish Covenanters and English parliamentarians defeats Prince Rupert's royalist forces. Cromwell leads the decisive battle, winning cavalry charge. Nice. You see here now, we've got a pikeman with a cannon, and it's in red. That indicates that we are going to have a battle. So, first, receive prior to battle. Nice. Prior to battle, we get to receive Ironsides and Cromwell. This is huge. So we get to put these in here into the holding box, and now we can use them in the battle. And absolutely, we are going to use them in the battle. So, what do? First off, we start populating the board. We're going to start with, I'm going to put Cromwell. Now, the thing about Cromwell is he's a 6 strength, but if he wins his battle up here, he then can fortify the line next to him. So if I put him up here and he wins, he gets to go down here. And if I put him here and he wins, he gets to go up here. I like to put him up here. If he wins, we flip it to a +3 strength and now add it to this line. So that's a great card for us to get Cromwell out as soon as possible. I'm going to put Ironsides right down here. Use them when you got them. And then, of course, this is going to go here. I'm just, no, you know what? I'm going to put it here. So I did that kind of a little out of order, but I just wanted to get it aside. I know I'm going to do that. But the first thing you have to do when you have a battle is decide who are you going to battle against. Are you going to battle against the Army of the North, or are you going to battle against the Army of the West? Right now, if I look at the remaining, what's going to happen in the card, the North is going to activate twice. The West is going to activate once. Either way, they're going to get into the areas that they need to be in. Which one would I like, hopefully try to make weaker? That's a good question, Tad. You know what? I'm more concerned about the Army of the North, really. We're going to fight against the Army of the North. I'm going to take this bone dice, put it on here, just to indicate which army we're battling against. All right, now let's finish populating the board. I only have 3 more areas left here. Now, if I didn't use Cromwell and Ironside, I could have used one of these randomly and put them up there. When I do this, I'll populate it in order from top to bottom. I like to kind of play, have a little fun here with not knowing exactly what's there until I flip it over. Unfortunately, or fortunately, you can tell when you feel these. You can't, of course, tell what number they are, but you can tell what the back is and what the front is just by the feel of your fingers. So I'm going to draw some randomly and put them out here like this. All right, so I populated everything for the Parliament side. And now we're going to do the same thing here. Again, let's start with up here. I've already shuffled them. I'm just going to randomly take one, put it here, and let's do this one out here. And we're going to reach in our bag and populate the rest. First, the Royalist musket and pipe in their 3rd position. And finally, the 4th position. All right, that's nice. Seeing a battle pretty soon, right off the bat. All right, let's just reveal what they are. We've got Cromwell up here. Oh, we've got a 6 strength musket and pike and a 4 strength. That's pretty strong. I won't even probably need Cromwell. And down here, not so strong. A 4 and a 3. So this is our weaker one, of course. Let's see what the Royalists have up here. Their cavalry unit is a named cavalry unit, Prince Rupert. He's a 5 against Cromwell, which is 6. That's going to be a tough battle. Next, another named unit. King's Lifeguard, 5 strength and a 3 strength. Next, a 4 strength and a 2 strength. This actually is an event. We'll do that next. And down here we've got a 3. So whenever you reveal your battle sides, if you have any events, you get to draw a battle event card. Sweet. So let's pull one, see what it is. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. This says high ground. Resolve immediately. Add +1 to the strength values of the weakest Royalist musket and pike unit. Oh man. If there is a tie, the player chooses which unit that is tied will get the strength adjustment. It says, at the First Battle of Newbury, 20 September 1643, the Royalists under Charles's command and deployed on high ground, met a parliamentarian force under the Earl of Essex, who launched a surprise attack at dawn, capturing the high ground. Off balance, Charles's Royalists counterattacked and drove Essex from the central hill. Unfortunately, we have to do this immediately, and it's not good for us. We get +1 strength to the weakest Royalist musket and pike, which is number 2. So now they are a 3. All right, let's see what happens. So the red dice are going to be for the Royalists, the blue dice for the Parliament. We're going to start in the first. The first is Cromwell versus Prince Rupert. Very simple. You take their strength and add the die roll. 6 to 5. We roll, and not good. So 11 and 8. If your outcome is 2 or more above the losing side, it's a defeat. If it's only 1 equal or 1 greater or 1 less, it's a draw. So you have to defeat to get a victory. It's got to be 2 or stronger, or defeat 2 or less. So Cromwell loses, which really sucks because we don't get to utilize his +3 strength, and he goes down here to the defeat section, which quite possibly could take Cromwell out of the game for the rest of the game. That is a really, really bad roll. All right, moving on. Number 2, we have a 3 strength against a 5 strength. This is Ironsides. He is a named unit. And we've got a 9 and an 8. So, again, we only won by 1. So this is actually a draw. So we move him down to the draw box. Not too good right now. We move to the third. We have 6 and 4 is 10 versus 5 and 3, which is 8. And we're getting slaughtered. You can see this game really does depend on some die rolls, unfortunately. So you've got a vastly stronger force. 6, 4, and 1 is 11 against 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again, didn't win, but it's a draw. So we get to move both of these down to the draw box. Pretty simple way of fighting. There is a way you can do a shortcut in the rules. I don't want to do that. Next, last is the 4th position. We have 4 and 3 is 7. and 4 and 3, which is 7. And we got slaughtered again. Oh my God. So we got defeated. Those go to the defeat. Now, how do we figure out what happened? Well, you go by the number of units in each box. And whichever one has the majority is what happens. Right now, these are tied, so we don't lose. It's not a defeat, it's a draw. If we had something like this, you are allowed to move from a victory to the draw box to make it more advantageous for you. If it was something like this, then we would lose. It would be a defeat because we have 3, 2, and 1. But you could move it down here to make it more equal and at least get a draw. And that's where we're at. So in a draw, if the majority of your units are here, or if it's a tie, which it is, you are not in God's favor, and the outcome is a draw. The affected army unit's status is unchanged, so we're not affecting this. If we were to have had victory, we could flip this over to its disordered side, which means before it would activate, it would have to reorder itself, which would have been great, but that didn't happen. And we get to lose 1 zeal point. So before we even start our player actions, we're down a zeal point. Not good, not great. Now what do we do? Well, whenever you have a named unit in the defeat area, there's something else you have to do. Let's flip this over, and the other side of the player aid is the tactical battle sequence of play, which basically is all on the board too, but it does show you what happens. It's called the deadly outcome. So first off, let's just clean it up real quick. Let's get these out of the way so you can see what we're doing. Let's get these back here. Mix these up. Where they stop, nobody knows. All right, you guys go back up there. All these are going to go in here. Now, you notice we didn't move any of these, but if we would have won this battle here, because he's a named unit, he would have gone down here into the defeat box and could suffer the consequences of deadly outcome. But since we sucked, he just goes back in the bag. No problem there for the Royalists. And for us, Ironside was a draw, so he gets to go back up here. These 3 get to go back in the bag. And now we have to do the deadly outcome rolls for these named units because they were defeated. So the deadly outcome is roll a die for each named parliamentary or royalist unit in the defeat box to determine its fate. And here are the rolls. Let's roll first for the London train bands here, and I rolled a 1. That unit is permanently removed from play. Bam, you're gone. I don't get to utilize you anymore. That sucks. Now let's roll for Cromwell. Come on. And we rolled a 4. That unit is placed in the recovery box. After the next battle, it is returned to its draw pool or holding box. So Cromwell doesn't get killed, but he does have to go down here into the recovery box. Units here are not returned to their draw pool or holding box until after the next battle. So the next battle comes up, we can use Ironside, but we're not going to be able to use Cromwell. That sucks. Not a good battle outcome for us at all. Wow, that sucks. All right, what's next? So now we have to activate the North Army twice. So they move from Durham down to Chester, and then from Chester over to York. Again, if they activate next turn, they're going to be able to start besieging Hull. I don't like that. Also, the West gets to activate. They're moving from Devon to Somerset. Again, if they activate next turn, they can attack Bristol. We don't want that happening. That sucks. All right, that wasn't good. Next, Cromwell sides with independents that hold bishops and presbyters in equal contempt. Puritanism +1 DRM. All right, Puritanism plus, whoa, come back here, +1 DRM, which is sweet. We can start maybe moving him up the track a little bit. Next, Scottish Covenanters order their forces out of Ireland to face the growing strength of forces allied to King Charles. Oh no, we have to move Ireland down 1. That sucks. We don't want them to get down to F and get a +1 strength for sure. And Catholicism goes down 1. Man, they are moving. Already down into the D slot. All right, this is how the game goes. Back and forth, but come on, guys, let's protect these forts at least. All right, we get to start our turn. I'll just flip this back over. We're doing our player actions. I got to get these guys out of here. This is the 3 spot. This is the 2 spot. This is the 1 spot. So if the West moves here and here, they could move into here, and then they could besiege London. We don't want that. That's 1, 2, 3 moves, but the North is in the same situation. 1, 2, 3 moves into London. So I got to move these armies out of here. Even though I've got a +1 over here, I've got to try it. 4's tough. I'm going to spend a zeal again to put a +1 DRM on here for us, and spend another zeal, try to move him out. 4 +1 is 5. Perfect. Got him out of Devon. All right, the North. Yeah, we got to get him out of there. Let's spend another zeal, try to get the North out of Hull. Nope. Spend 1 more zeal, try to get the North out of Hull. And we got a 5. Beautiful. Woo! Got lucky. Moving back to Chester. That was just luck. Again, the die roll. All right, let's clean it up. We didn't get to utilize the +1 DRM on Puritanism. That's fine, because I needed those guys out of there. And we still at least have 5 zeal points. On to the next card. And this is card number 10. The King attempts to arrest members of Parliament. January 4th, 1642. King Charles attempts to end his troubles with the House of Commons by arresting Pym, Hampden, Hollis, Haselrig, and Strode. The attempt fails, and the crisis festers and grows. That sucks. And yeah, look what we have here. Ireland activates twice. Ireland moves into 3. Of course, their second activation, they do not attack Dublin because they're under royalist control. They just get to mosey on up into Ulster, getting close to the Irish troubles, which we don't want. Also, unrest in London. That sucks. When you have an unrest in London, you just have too many people protesting and doing stuff and, throwing rocks at people, whatever, causing havoc. So unrest in London, you must immediately conduct 2 siege rolls against London. This sucks. All right, 2 free siege rolls against London. London is at 2 strength, so anything higher than a 2, and it's going to be diminished. And they get 2 attacks, so we're going to be rolling 2 dice. Come on, 2 or lower. Well, I got 1, so that doesn't count, and then the 5 is higher than 2, so we have to move the defense of London down to 2. That sucks. The only good thing about this type of siege, if it's an unrest in London siege, then if it goes down to 0, it doesn't flip control. All right, so that's a good thing. So we did suffer 1. That's not a good thing. Oh, let's put this zeal back. All right, that sucked, but not too bad. At least we had a 1. All right, next. Puritans begin to destroy icons, stained glass windows, and use altar stones as paving bricks in an anti-Catholic backlash and protest against soft Protestantism. Puritanism, +1 DRM. Man, they keep giving us a chance to move the Puritanism up, and we really do. We've got to get Parliament to be, we've got to get Puritanism to be, we've got to get the monarchy to be. Monarchy, we're only 1 away. That's actually pretty good. All right, next. King Charles brings troops to Parliament to arrest his political foes in violation of parliamentary privilege and tradition. Monarchy, up 1. Sweet. That's awesome. That's a B. And Parliament, down 1. That sucks. That's a long trek for us to get up to B. But if we can keep monarchy in B, that's really good. All right, what are we threatening here? London. We got to get London back up. We've got armies in Edinburgh. But if I could get this, that would be sweet. All right, let's spend 1 point to strengthen London. Let's spend another point to strengthen London. I can't strengthen Edinburgh because there's a foreign occupying army in the area. I would have to move them back before I could strengthen Edinburgh, but I did strengthen that already a little bit. I'm going to try to take advantage of this DRM here. So we're going to try to move Puritanism up. That costs us zeal. A 2. Nope. Do it again. 3 is a 4. That's good. And I'm going to do it again one more time. Come on, baby. 2, 3. I need higher than a 3. So it sucks. Again, you're beholden to the dice. Dice gods are not working in our favor. All right, let's clean up. Get rid of that DRM. Go back up to 5. We still have 5 zeal points. Haven't had another battle, so Cromwell's still sitting there in recovery. Let's flip the next card. Oh, we get another event achievement card. The Petition of Right. Let me read that. The Petition of Right. 1628 to 1641. The Petition of Right sets out specific liberties for subjects that the king is prohibited from infringing. Monarchy A, Parliament A, Puritanism equal to or greater than C. Cost 3, but look at that, 4 positive victory points. How am I going to get everybody up to A though? That is tough. All right, we get to flip another card. Card number 17. Man, come on, 13. Come on, 26. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's another achievement. So what happens? With this, we have to replace an achievement. To be perfectly honest with you, although this is 4 points and it says fortifying by +1 any parliament controlled fortress +4, but the likelihood of me getting both the parliament and the monarchy up to A, that's something that I just don't think I can get. I'm going to replace it. You have to replace one of them, so I'm going to replace it. So this is self-denying ordinance, April 1645. The first self-denying ordinance deprived MPs from holding commands in the Army or Navy during the English Civil War. What do I need? Battle this turn or last turn is a victory. Parliament B, Puritanism B, Zeal costs 2. I get 3 permanent victory points. I think that was a good swap because I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to achieve that card, unfortunately. All right, flip another one. Card 23. Are you kidding me? It's another one. Oh no, what's this one? Committee of Both Kingdoms, January 1644. This committee was set up with both parliamentary and Scottish Covenanters to oversee the war effort and foreign policy. Monarchy equal to or greater than B. Edinburgh Fortress in our control. Scotland greater than or equal to C. Right now it's at D. Parliament B equal to or greater than B. 2 costs 3. Oh. C, B, B. Fortress 3. 2 cost. All right. This is a tough one, but I'm going to replace licensing order. Come on, give me a good one. Card number 2. Oh, Scots seize English land. King Charles signs treaty. October 26, 1640, after the defeat of Earl of Strafford, King Charles is compelled to sign the Treaty of Ripon and cede land to the Scottish Covenanters and leave Newcastle in the hands of the Scots. Oh, no battle, but oh man, this is not good. +1 strength to the Scottish Army, of course, and they get to act twice. So that means they're going to besiege Edinburgh. It's in our hands, so they're going to besiege it before they move on. They've got to roll higher than a 3, though. But they're activating twice, so they get to do this twice. So I'm going to just roll 2 dice. And 1's a 3, doesn't take effect. 1's a 4. They are successful in 1 besiege. So it says besiege or fortify Edinburgh. We cannot fortify Edinburgh. There's an army there, so they get to besiege it in a normal manner. This isn't a Unrest of London type besiege. This is a normal besiege. So when a normal army besieges one of your forts, they get 2 rolls. So they're going to besiege us 4 times this turn. All right, let's roll 2 more. And 1's a 3, doesn't count. 1's a 1, doesn't count. Woo! Wow, how did we get lucky and get out of that one? I do not know. All right, sweet. Next, the Covenanters' victory also promoted Presbyterianism as a form of church government, as opposed to episcopacy. Geez, I can't say that either. Episcopacy, which was favored by the crown. Scotland goes down 1 again. Oh my gosh, that's not good. Scotland is being a thorn in my side. All right, next. John Pym creates a parliamentary committee of safety. The purpose of the committee was to secure funds first for the king and later for Parliament. Catholicism +1 DRM. All right, nothing up here involves Catholicism, but we definitely still don't want it to fall down into the F slot if possible. All right, our turn. Scottish army is being a thorn in my side for sure. I got to start trying to get these. We've got a Monarchy B, Monarchy B. Edinburgh is under our control. Scotland C. I have to move Scotland up twice. Parliament B. Holy crap. I still got to get Parliament to B no matter what, and Puritanism. All right. I'm going to try to get Parliament up. 1 zeal point. 4. Beautiful. I'm going to try to get Parliament up again. No. I'm going to try to get Parliament up again. No. Let's try to get Puritanism up 1. Yes. And let's try to get Parliament up again. No, of course. Oh, crappy rolls. These dice suck. All right, that's it. Still got control here. Still get 5. That was very unhelpful. All right, all we can do is move forward.